First tonight, a renewed call for action at the Rhode Island State House. I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Steve Nielsen. It's in response to a disturbing grand jury report that came out last week detailing decades of child sex abuse from priests across Pennsylvania.
The Attorney General there saying the statute of limitations was a key tool in the cover-up by Pennsylvania church officials and at the Vatican. Here in Rhode Island, there were efforts this year to eliminate that civil statute of limitations, but a bill regarding it never got a vote in the House or Senate. Tonight, lawmakers are hoping it now will.
While Catholic leaders in the state remain opposed to it. Eyewitness News reporter Caroline Goggin joins us now with the latest developments. Caroline?
Well, Steve and Shannon, moments before a news conference at the State House this afternoon, the Rhode Island Catholic Conference came out and said it would only support expanding the statute of limitations prospectively, meaning it would only cover future cases of abuse rather than allowing new claims from past survivors. Both sponsors of this bill said they are not willing to allow that.
Make no mistake, that is happening in Rhode Island.
A renewed call for action after an explosive grand jury report in Pennsylvania. It revealed more than 1,000 children were molested by more than 300 Roman Catholic priests in the state. It also revealed that abuse was systematically covered up.
Everyone was horrified by the stories that we've heard from Pennsylvania. Well, I've been hearing those stories for 25 years. Those stories are real. Some of them I lived.
As a child, Ann Hagen-Webb says she was abused by a priest in West Warwick. Her story, one of the reasons her sister, State Rep Carol Hagen-McEntee, introduced a bill this past session that would eliminate the state's civil statute of limitations on child sex abuse. That bill never got a vote.
So 10 o'clock at night on the last Saturday, I'm sitting in the Judiciary Committee. The bill that was promised to me never came forward.
So she's trying again, as is Senator Donna Nesselbush, who proposed the bill in the Senate. This time, they are asking the House Speaker and Senate President to allow a vote on a bill that would extend the civil statute of limitations to 35 years after the victim turns 18. Catholic leaders say changing the law after the fact raises fairness concerns and could subject the church to costly lawsuits.
I will tell you that the testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee of these very courageous victims was the most powerful day I have lived at the Rhode Island State House.
I survived my shame, my guilt, and my fear.
Jim Scanlon was one of the victims who spoke that night and then again today, saying this bill could go a long way in protecting future generations.
There's got to be a reason to come forward, and often it is the ability to come forward with a civil litigation.
And Rhode Island's current civil statute of limitations for child sex abuse is 7 years. Advocates say changing the law here in Rhode Island would give the state the same policy as Massachusetts, where the statute of limitations is already 35 years. Lawmakers saying this afternoon they are more than willing to be called back to the State House if it means taking up a vote on this specific issue. Reporting live tonight, I'm Caroline Goggin, Eyewitness News.